Hello guys, and today I'm going to cook some food from India. Not! But I'll explain why in a moment. Okay? Here I have a recipe book of Indian food, okay? And it states World Food India, the food and the lifestyle. Now, inside it's got various pictures of India and things like that. And, you know, I'm too late to go through it all. Anyway, it's also got some pictures like this, and some others. Anyway, forget all that. This is what I'm going to concentrate on. There's a recipe in here for Parsi scrambled eggs. And this consists of eggs, cream or milk, turmeric, salt and pepper, ghee, which is what they recommend, but you can replace it with vegetable or groundnut oil, spring onions, green chillies, ginger, tomatoes, coriander, and something called Parathas, which is a sort of bread. Now, why am I telling you all this? And first I'm going to show you a picture of it. Well, that's what it's supposed to look like. And you think, well, what's then this got to do with anything? You said you're not going to cook it. Well, that's absolutely true. I'm not going to cook this for the rest of the day. Honestly, I'm not. And the reason for that, why I'm going to cook it and eat it today, in future, not, is because I've already cooked it. And I've already eaten it. And this is the frying pan to prove it. Okay? So you see, I've already cooked and eaten this, and here's the frying pan. Now you might think, well, why am I doing a video on this? Because as you know, usually I always show you me cooking food. Well, don't worry guys, I'm going to do just that. So, although I'm not going to cook it, I have already cooked it. And I'm going to now show you me cooking it and then eating it, okay? Now, in the book, it does mention something called Parathas or something like that, which is a bread, and it shows you even how to do it yourself. So it's called Parathas, and it even shows you in the book how to cook that yourself, okay? And it doesn't even look that difficult, but the truth of the matter is I just don't have the kind of flour they have. And wait a minute. And so I thought to myself, well, here it shows you how to make parathas, and it's got a picture on the left. I assume that's some parathas. But to be honest, you can easily buy naan bread here, which has already been cooked, and you simply need to reheat it, and, you know, in an oven. So I did just that. So I basically got some naan bread, and I essentially use that, okay? Because it only cost 20p for you know, a piece of naan bread, okay? It was a pack of 3 for 60p, and it's quite cheap here because there's a lot of Indians and around here, and ethnic Indians, and also a lot of white people also here like a lot of Indian food. It's very popular here, so even among white people, so who have no ethnic you know, link to India. So you're now going to see me cook this meal and then eat it, okay? Now I'm making this very clear, okay? I have made some slight alterations to the recipe simply because I've used ingredients that I had, and also a lot of the time I just truthfully guessed the amount. I didn't actually put the amount in they told me to, I just guessed it, to be honest. You'll understand when you see the video, which will be, you know, after I've stopped talking. And I used chili powder rather than chilies, okay? And they did give you various options with some of the things, like I believe ghee would have been better, then cream, then milk. But I just happen to have milk, so I use that. They do say you can use milk in the recipe. Anyway, I'm not going to waste any more time because you're probably bored with me yapping on about nothing. So now, I'm now going to show you the recipe for the Parsi scrambled eggs, okay? Right, so thanks for watching, guys. Bye, but carry on watching because now you'll see how I cooked it and ate it, okay? So thanks for watching, bye, but carry on watching to see how I made it and ate it earlier. Another reason why I cooked and ate it earlier was because I was doing a Windows 10 update and it takes forever to do it. So while it was forever and a day doing the Windows update, I decided to cook and eat it and then add that onto this, okay? So thanks for watching, carry on watching, and bye for now. But carry on watching the video, okay? Right, now I'm going to chop the spring onions, okay? Now first, I'm going to take the roots off. So I'm going to chop the roots off, and this I'm going to treat as a bin. I chop the roots off and put them, that wasn't very good. I didn't intend them to splinter like that. Oh dear. Anything can go wrong with, I've never had that problem before. Anyway, do about it separately. So I'll chop this off as well, a bit more off. That's how I normally chop it. Now, I'm also going to get rid of some bad leaves. There's a bad leaf. Yes, take that off. Take that off. There, and take this one off. I think this is how you do spring onions. I've always had virtually all of it, truthfully. Anyway, I'm now going to chop it, so and move this down the bottom. Right, that's the spring onion dealt with. Now, the tomato. Now you're supposed to chop the tomato up. You're actually supposed to, and for this recipe, take out the stupid root things. You're supposed to take out the seeds for this, but I truthfully cannot be bothered, so I'm going to leave the seeds in. Okay, I have washed it, so. I mean, I've always had seeds with anything I've had tomatoes with. I've always kept the seeds, so I don't see a reason to get rid of them. But you're supposed to, but I can't be bothered, truthfully. So, Okay, I'm going to move it a bit. I know this is boring to watch, but there you go. This is me showing in real time. Me actually chopping up. I should say chopping up tomatoes. Or cutting up a tomato, depending on how you want to do it, say it. I'm supposed to cut it rather finely, but I generally can't be bothered, especially as I'm filming it, so I'm just going to try and chop this. I'm going to separate the tomatoes and the spring onion. Right, so I believe that's pretty much the tomatoes dealt with. Now I have to deal with the egg mixture, so I'm going to do that in a moment. And that should be the tomatoes and the spring onions dealt with. Okay, right. Okay, and now I'm going to do the egg mixture, okay? So I'm going to, first of all, make an egg. Now I'm going to actually use two. I'm not sure you should, but I'm going to use it for my own reasons, so. Oh, bloody hell. Not what I wanted to happen. Again, if anything can go wrong, it bloody will. That's not the best way to crack an egg, honestly. Oh, bloody shit. I've cracked eggs for years. This is the first time it's been this bad. So, bloody pig. Just a minute. I'll get the eggshell out. Now I'll show you how you should crack an egg, hopefully. That one's better. I'll whisk it with a fork. Now I have here some salt. Salt by Sainsbury's. This is the Sainsbury's one. do for the salt. I'm going to put in some black pepper. It just said use pepper, but I'm going to use black pepper because black pepper matters, guys. So I'm going to just use the part where it just pours straight out virtually rather than being sprinkled out. So I think there's enough black pepper in there. And now and by the way, I can't remember if I told you, but I used free-range eggs on ethical grounds. This is the eggs I used. I used free-range eggs on ethical grounds the vast majority of the time, almost all the time, because I do not morally agree with battery eggs. Okay, I do not like the way the animals are treated. I think it is barbaric, even though I eat meat, which I know is hypocritical, but there you go. But I feel that, you know, the animals should be treated reasonably while they're alive. So this is me stirring this up. A lot of the black pepper sort of clung to the side, unfortunately. It often happens, unfortunately. This is supposed to be a rice bowl, but I'm using it as a mixing bowl. Now, I've got some turmeric. It says ground turmeric. I probably can't see it in the lighting, but it says ground turmeric. So I'm going to put some of that in. To be honest, I just guessed them, to be honest. They do have specific amounts you're supposed to put in, but I frankly just guessed it truthfully. That will do for the turmeric. And now you can use milk or cream, or I just happen to have milk, so I'm using milk. I think cream's better. You can also I forget what it was now. I'm just going to guess it. To be honest, you're not supposed to do this, but to me it probably tastes pretty similar, so from the sides and just stir it. Okay, I think that will do. So now, that is most of the preparation work, okay? So now I'll be frying, I think I might just add a bit more milk in. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to or not. I'm sure this is heresy, but why not? And I said there are specific amounts you're supposed to do, but I'm just doing what I feel like, to be absolutely honest with you. Okay, so I'm varying the recipe according to my own taste. I have had this before, so don't worry, I have done this before. But I did it without any naan bread or any other kinds of things, but more on that later, okay? Right, so that's the preparation for that, and here we have the spring onions and tomatoes. So I believe now that's most of the preparation done. Now I need to do some of the actual cooking, okay? Okay, I now have some plain naan bread. I'm meant to use something called Parathas or something like that, and it does even give you instructions in the recipe book on how to make it yourself. I don't have the ingredients. I've not done it before, and I admit this is blatant cheating. This is pre-made plain naan bread. It may not be the same, I'm sure. I know it's not the same. I'm sure Indians and other people will be absolutely cringing at me using this rather than Parathas, but that's what I'm going to do, because I could go into the shop and buy this pre-made. So you just basically put this straight in the oven, and then I'm going to have that with it, okay? So I'm going to take one out and show you. Naan bread and things like that are freely available here, right? I may even have to peel this. Well, not peel. Not peel's not a word. Sorry. Pull some of it off. What am I talking about? Peeling, idiot. That's me being an idiot, not you. So this is naan bread. Okay, it's unleavened bread. It's very popular here. People often use this when they're buying a kebab. So that we have like this, it'll be bent back, and then people have like kebab meat in there, and they'll bend it somehow. I think they heat it and then bend it, and then they put, you know, kebab meat in then, and things like salads and mayonnaise and chili sauce or something like that, and then that's a kebab. But I'm going to use this to have this egg thing, okay, with it, okay? Now, I'm going to now put this in the oven. I may even have to, you know, break some of it off so it'll fit in, and then while I'm doing that, and I've got it in the oven for about probably 20 minutes or so, I'm going to say 3 or 4 minutes, but I'm going to have it probably for longer than that, okay? There's a whole load of nonsense you're supposed to do, which I frankly can't be bothered with, so I will just do it my way, okay? And just put some water on it. I don't know if that's going to help. In fact, I'm going to see what happens if I just put some of this. I've never tried this before. I've never actually cooked any of this myself, truthfully, before, so I shouldn't have put it on there. Probably not very clean. This is exactly how not to do things. This is 100% how you should not do anything. There you go. I'm going to look at the bottom. I'm just going to rub the bottom, so have a look. Yeah, it's not too dirty. I shouldn't have done that, never mind. This is how not to do things, guys, but it's the pressure of filming. I could do things normal, it's the pressure of filming. And now I'm going to put this into the oven, okay? So I've broken it, and I'm going to put it in the oven, okay? In 2 pieces, probably. Whatever it takes to fit in the oven somehow, okay? Right. Okay, guys, I'm going to try and put it into the oven now. I know it doesn't fit exactly, so I'm overlaying it just so that it won't. I'm going to put that into the oven. I'm supposed to put water on it, but I haven't bothered. I've put some egg mixture on. I might just try and sprinkle some water on. So, wait, where am I going to get some water from? Wait a minute. As I say, I'm sure Indians everywhere will be cringing at this, but never mind. And the oven will burn off the excess water, so I really haven't got a clue how to do this. I've never done it before, truthfully. I thought you just put the whole thing straight in the oven. I didn't bother reading the instructions. So anyway, I'm now going to put this in the oven. And turn up the temperature, okay? I know it could do a bit clean, but that's another matter. Right. So I'm going to leave that for about 10 minutes or so, okay? I'll turn it down so it's not too high. And now I'm going to try and fry the mixture, okay? and all the other things. So I'm not going to leave that now, okay? Right, okay. So now I'm going to plug in the I'm not showing you doing this, but I have just plugged in the hot plate. You can see the lights on, and here you can see there's a knob where I can turn it up, so I'm going to turn that up. And now I'm going to put in some cooking oil. So it says sunflower oil. You're supposed to use, I think, groundnut oil, or ghee. Ghee's ideal, but I don't have any, so I'm going to use sunflower oil. I'm sure now everybody will cringe, but there you go. I'm using a lot of the wrong things, but you use what you have when you're on a budget. And now I'm going to stir that around. I'm also now meant to put in some ground ginger, so I've got some ground ginger. I'm going to sprinkle that in. I'm just guessing it, to be honest. You're also meant to put in some chillies. I don't have chillies, so I'm using hot chili powder instead. Again, I'm just going to sprinkle it in. Now I'm going to put in the spring onions from what I cut earlier. So this is what I cut earlier. I'm going to put the spring onions into the hole there. And I'm just going to stir it all. Because this is the ginger. It just flew off. Not going to. Tomato by mistake, but it doesn't matter. The tomato is going to go in anyway later, so it's not the end of the world. And I'm meant to do it for about 2 or 3 minutes, I think, or some amount until the spring onions have been softened. And covered in this ginger. As I said, you're meant to cut a green chilli up, but I'm using chili powder instead just because I have it, and you've usually got to buy more chilies than you need, and I'm not a massive fan of having too much chili because it's too hot for me. So given this is hot chili powder, I can control it to some extent, the amount you put in. So, right, now I think that's softened enough, probably. So now I'm going to put the tomatoes in. And now I'm going to here with the tomatoes, and then go straight in the pan. There you go, now we've got tomatoes in the pan. And now I'm going to mix the tomatoes around. As I said, you're meant to take the seeds out, but I haven't bothered because I actually like the seeds and I don't see the benefit, to be honest. I'm sure some engines will tell me what the reason is, but I'm afraid I haven't got a clue. It said do it for about 30 seconds, so I'm going to do that. And while it's doing that, I'm going to go back to this again and stir it again. It starts, because that's going to be poured in a moment. Right, that should be about 30 seconds roughly. I'm going to turn it down a bit. Now I'm going to pour in the egg mixture that you saw earlier with the turmeric and this is now where I stir it. It is meant to set slightly. So although they call it scrambled egg, to me it's like an omelette. It says also after this, you're meant to put in some coriander leaf, so I'm going to make it set a little bit, not too much. I have here some coriander leaf, so it tells you to put that in now. I'm going to put in the as I said, I'm just guessing it. And I might put in a bit more, I think. I'm sure I put too much and it doesn't matter, I quite like it. And then you're also meant to sprinkle some on the top, so now you can see that the egg, it's just starting to, you know, eggs starting to set more now. Underneath that, turn it down. Leave this to set while it's cooking. And also it tells you to sprinkle some more coriander leaf on top. So for my own reasons, I'm just going to put it looks like it's getting a bit dry, so I'm just going to put a bit more sunflower oil, and I'm sure you're not supposed to do this, but I'm just going to do it anyway so that it seeps through. I'm sure what I'm doing is sacrilege, but never mind. Turn it down. And now I'm going to check, I've turned it down, and I'm now going to check on the, you know, the naan bread, okay? Okay, I'm now taking it out of the oven. Sorry about that, I forgot to get the oven gloves out, so I couldn't. Right, so now, okay, it's still warm, so going out, that on there, put that on there. That's the naan bread I dealt with. Now, this is where it's going to get very interesting. Not what you're supposed to do, but all this and put it on there. And put that on the plate. I know this is heresy the way I'm doing all this, but never mind. And just because I'm doing it for filming purposes, to go all the way around the side, around the edge of the pan. So this is all loose now. So now, I should be able to simply just do this. And shake most of it out. The rest I'll put on manually off camera because it's too difficult to film it. So there you go. I'm sure this is heresy, guys, but this is it. And now in a moment I'm going to eat it. Once I put some more out of the frying pan into there, but I'm going to do it off camera because it's too difficult to film. Right, okay guys, and now I'm going to eat it, okay? So, I have it here. Okay, and I'm going to break it off with my hands. I'm going to just... Why can't we just leave? Stop messing about. Okay, so now I'm going to break a lot of it off with my hands. So. I'm going to come clean. Okay, the mixture you see on top of the naan bread, I did actually cook it a couple of days before, so that I was sure I knew how to do it. But I never tried putting it on naan bread, okay? So here I've broken some of it off. Oh dear. So here I have it. I have quite a lot on here. So I'm going to fold that and then eat it. Sometime when I have more time and more ingredients, I will try and cook the parathas, which is the bread, myself manually, you know, the hard way. Not manually, but you know, the hard way, okay? Rather than, you know, buying pre-made naan bread, but this does taste very nice, I'll be honest, okay? I wasn't sure if it would be good for the naan bread, but it is. Now, Even though I've used the hot chilli powder, this is not boiling my mouth off. Normally I don't like hot chilies. Okay, so just because they're too hot for me, okay? And I know lots of people over here like to eat vindaloos just as an endurance test. I'm referring here to the white people here. Ethnic Indians, I believe, eat vindaloo a lot, but they're used to it because they've been brought up from birth on it. But white people eat it not because they really like it, but just because it's some sort of it's some sort of bravery challenge, you know. So again, more of it. This to me is like some sort of Indian equivalent of pizza. Some sort. Indians will absolutely cringe at me saying that, okay? And I'm eating this with my fingers because Indians are famous for eating their food with their fingers, and apparently, and this is the kind of food you would eat with your fingers, okay? And to be honest, until about a couple of days ago, I'd never even tried to make this at all. And now I'm glad that I did make it. I think it is better with the naan bread because if you want me to be totally honest, no, did I? No. When I did the dry run, I had some out-of-date, cheap garlic bread, which has nothing to do with Indian food at all. And I took it in the shop and I had that with it. Although you can't put it on the garlic bread, so I had the garlic bread, which is almost looked like a baguette, and the scrambled egg mixture separately. So just ate a piece of the garlic bread, then a piece of then some of the scrambled egg, which I ate with a fork, and I kept swapping between the two. Okay, but I recently got some naan bread, and you're seeing the result of this, okay? And I'll be honest, it's a lot better than I thought it would be, truthfully. I wasn't expecting much when I did it. As I thought, well, I'm not using the specialist ingredients, I'm not using ghee. I'm using milk rather than well, other things that you're supposed to use, you know, but they did say you can use milk, but I think cream would have been better, but you know, I've got a lot of milk, it's cheap and it's easy to buy here, so why not? Especially when you're on a budget, so now I'm just, I've had all the naan bread now, so I'm just finishing off what I've got left, okay? like I said, Indians apparently eat food with their fingers, so I'm making this with my fingers, okay? So it's authentic, okay? Right, and I think that's about it, truthfully. So it's okay, guys, there you go. And I would actually recommend it, believe it or not. I know you might think, yeah, you would say that, but you know, I mean it, right? Some Americans that come over to Britain are surprised by the Indian food we have here. They come here, eat a lot of it, and then when they go back to America, they're disappointed because they don't have such a good range in America, apparently, of Indian food and things like that. And the one thing they miss about Britain when they go back to America is Indian food. Even if they're white, I emphasise this, is even if they're white, totally white, have no, you know, family connection with India or the Indian subcontinent in any way, they do like Indian food, even white people here, okay? So, you know, there you go. So just for you guys, an Indian meal, okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.